Whew. Chilly up here in Syracuse.
What's it out right now?
Oh, I don't know. Just cold. I don't check the weather unless it snows, right? It's just winter.
So do you just go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
snowed.
I look outside. I go, oh, it snowed. That means I have to wear my boots. Otherwise, you just put on a hat and you go for it. That's pretty much the weather. How about you? How's it going in Texas?
We had like there was like 4 inches of snow in Austin, and we got some powdery stuff in the air, and I was like, weird.
Yeah. Welcome to December 43rd, 2020. Disaster month, whatever.
I thought it was just nuclear fallout at this point.
Oh, dude, I can't. What's up, Adam? Thanks for jumping on. Let's roll them credits.
Let's roll them credits. Episode 109, right? 109. There we go. Woo!
Yeah. Hey, thanks for jumping on, folks. Catching our show. Yeah, no, very exciting. Hello.
Episode 109 of the Mid-Geek Crisis. I'm Joe, the Afro Man, and my partner in crime,
Pedro, Cautious Online. Thanks for jumping on, folks, in this this month of January. I mean, like, what do we talk about? What is even happening in the world? What's up, Rolls? Thanks for jumping on.
So the powder keg exploded, right? Isn't that
besides the first coup, right? We can talk about that all day long. But God, I just want to do video games and want to go to more innocent times. Yeah, exactly. Nothing major has happened this past week.
Nothing major. So let's kick it off with a quick story, just kind of to relate the world here.
Relate the world. Oh, are you bringing it up?
So Fallout 76 groups, guilds, or whatever, they have a group called the Free States of Fallout, and Facebook has suspended them again. This is like their second time, and it all happened after the wonderful terrorist attack on the U.S. Capitol. They are just talking about the game. 100% game-related content. It says, the Facebook page is 100% Facebook Fallout, says Bobby. I'd say 90% of the page is lore. We wrote our stories in line with 76's Free States militia faction. 5% is group events, and 5% are in-game photos. We write about individual characters and their adventures in the wasteland.
First they came for our fan forums, and no one said anything, right? That's the sad part. That's amazing. I like how Facebook doesn't do anything and just blanket bans everyone.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. We don't want to get you know what? I don't care. I don't care about getting political a little bit.
Those guys,
yeah,
right?
Those guys, yeah, right. So like we've
drawn
the line in the sand.
Douchebags, all of them, terrible people. Should have stayed home. But also, let's talk about Twitter just banning everyone. Yeah, you know what? You're not lying, Mark. For some reason, whenever we bring up a screen, I don't know if it's StreamYard, I don't know if it's my setup, but we get an echo.
So, Mark, am I echoing? How about help me out here? Because am I echoing, or is it just Pedro?
When the screen comes up, I think it's just me.
Okay, so what I'll do is I think I know what's doing that, and I will just make sure that audio is clicked off.
Okay, perfect.
So if I
just when Pedro's page comes up, that's exactly right.
Yeah, I think that's
Adam with the bold. What if I told you that Fallout is part of the problem? Perhaps, right? So it's a fine line between parodying the video game and parodying the sort of militiaman nonsense that the Fallout is about. That kind of jingoistic nationalism that Fallout celebrates, and also actually reveling in it, creating it, right? Where the Emperor is the bad guy, but also Trump. I don't know how that works. For the Star Wars folks that also love Trump, right? That doesn't work in my mind, so it almost never works.
Appreciate it, Mark. Yeah.
No,
I
you
think
got
what's
it.
happening
Thanks.
is the audio is check. I don't know. There's
So
something going on.
helpful.
Some
So
weird
helpful. The
reverb.
internet. I love it.
So yeah.
Uh,
So
hot take. I've been tempted to try out Assassin's Creed 3, and now I'm not sure. I'm going to make you sure, Dan. It's not worth it. Just go play the Black Flag. Skip them part 3. Not worth it. Controls are terrible. Story's terrible. Not fun. Go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Flag is great. The pirate one is fantastic. You'll love the pirate one.
it was the first game to be re-released very shortly after it was released. Like it was released and then they re-released it for the Xbox One. Remember?
Yeah, it was gorgeous. Gorgeous game.
That was one of the first launch. So I'm wondering if we're gonna get like a patch for it to make it look even better for a series.
Oh my god,
it is that
water.
good.
It's so good with the water and the pirates singing. It's just the sound. Yeah. The sound quality is great, and like I didn't think it'd be fun hunting sharks and whales. It turned out to be a blast. So you'll love it. It's great.
Yeah, I do remember playing a little bit of that.
Playing on the beautiful.
You know, it's actually a really good game on there.
Just stop.
It's a great game on there.
You retro gamers drive me crazy. It's a great game on this old archaic system. I have to come on. No, be gone with your old.
Wii U is not that old. It's 1080p.
It's 1080p.
Come on.
Things are 95K now with
right
polygons
with retina inducing seizures. You know.
Oh jeez, cyberpunk.
So here we are, 1 month after Cyberpunk. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about. I guess we should talk about our challenge, right? I think we should kind of bring this up once a week.
Yeah.
So
all right. So first of all, we got to lay some ground rules, and the ground rule is you have to post a game as soon as you beat it. No sitting on screenshots.
Got it.
Until you load up 7 at once, and I think I'm ahead, and then suddenly I'm way behind. Just post them as soon as you get them. As soon as you beat it, you
2 games in.
I know. Second of all, I like it. I would have never played Fractured Minds. I knew it was short. I didn't realize it was that short. But it's a game I've been meaning to play, and I just never would have done it. And it was fun to put on. And you're rocking out the old ones, right? Super Mario Odyssey would beat. Yeah, the challenge. That's right. So for folks who don't know or didn't tune in last week, we have a resolution here. Joe's resolution is to beat 52 games this year. 52 games, 1 a week if you can, but otherwise 52 games this year. My resolution is to do it before him, right? So that's my throwdown. And here we are. It's a young game. Yeah, this is it. It's an interesting little game with anxiety, about anxiety and a young woman made it. I think she was 13, if I remember, or 14. She was definitely a teenager when she put it up there. It's got some puzzle elements and some spooky elements, a couple of jump scenes. As you progress, the story gets even wonkier. It's got all these game elements. It's a lot of fun.
This trailer the art style is really simplistic, and then it's not.
Yeah, that's like it's got some interesting things going on there. Is this her?
Is she the developer?
She might be. She won a prize.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty neat. It's got really good music. If this is her first foray into the game field, she's got a future in it. So check it out. Also, if you like Chivos, you could probably score 1,000 points in less than an hour, which is always nice, right?
What was the other game you rocked out? So you're at 2, right?
Yeah, well, Slay the Spire was a deck building game. You got to climb the tower. Deck building game where you have to kind of plan out your cards and things like that. As you progress and fight monsters, you get different cards, 4 different characters, I think, that you can go through. It's fun. It's one of those roguelikes that you can either beat the game very quickly, or you can have to play it over and over again to beat the game. I'm playing it on the Xbox. It's on
Don't Switch.
All the games I'm playing are on the Pass. So each of these characters play very differently from each other, and they're all pretty cool, and they all do pretty cool things. What's going on, Chance? And as you collect the deck, you collect these cards, and you play them, and you fight monsters. I thought the game was super unfair and obnoxiously difficult until I kind of figured out how to play it. Which is the way all roguelikes work, right? Roguelikes are exactly like that. And you get the opportunity to play with 3 different characters that play very differently from each other. So you almost get the ability to learn how to play it anew, right? Same sort of concept. You just got to play a whole different game. So it's cool. I like it.
Interesting.
And what about you? Retro gaming.
So I had, I needed to, I'm kind of playing multiple games, right? A little bit here and there. But I needed to play one game. I really wanted to revisit a game that I hadn't revisited in like over 10 plus years. One of my favorites. And the first game I decided to knock out of the park was, I guess the way you say it is Crystalis.
Mm-hmm.
Chrysalis, yes, and it's an interesting game. It's I guess the best way to put it, it's Zelda, but not Zelda, right? So here's a game from 1990.
Mm-hmm.
It's after Zelda 1, right? So we've got that top-down view, but this game predates like Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, anything
So what system was it on?
NES.
All right. So yeah, predates a lot of
NES.
stuff.
NES, and I mean it's an interesting game.
Predates a lot of actual gamers. Yeah, there you go. Dan Camp played through half of that a couple years ago, then fell off.
Yeah,
Look at the little sock feet.
yeah, but it's a very simple game. Like the inventory system is it's pretty streamlined, but it's also action based, like Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
You got a sword and a shield, and you power up your sword and power up your shield. You get different elements. And I remember playing it as a kid and was like, "Whoa, this is great!" And then you have to change swords, like a fire sword.
A little bit of Metrovania. Gotta have the right
Gotta
item.
go back
right
and
through.
forth, right item. Yeah, exactly. This is kind of the beginning of that like stock. So I think this predates Link to the what is it? Link to the Past, which had a lot of this element of like, oh, you need the right tool to cross this bridge, but you can't get to it. And again, this is 1990 on the original NES.
Oh, and there's like a chest you can't get unless you go the right way. You need the right item. No, that's pretty cool. NES said, I mean, all of us who started on the NES, we know that the library was deep and wide. Sometimes shallow, but deep and wide, right? A lot of games all over the place.
What's interesting about this game is the developer of this game is
I remember that right to the back in the low place.
Is SNK.
Oh, all right. SNK made some great games.
Well, I mean, the Neo Geo, like you're talking about King of Fighters, Metal Slug, and then this game that we never got a sequel. We never got anything out of it. It's beloved. There was a re-release on it on the Game Boy Color, I think it was. So they did like a new port of it onto the Game Boy Color. And that's it. That's the last we've heard of it. But it is a beloved game. And like I said, it outdid Zelda before Zelda. So then Link to the Past came out on the Super Nintendo. And it was like, oh, it's this revolutionary game. But I'm like, this feels very much like Chrysalis. So yeah. I thought that was interesting.
All right, that's pretty cool.
And then another game that I decided to finally get off my backlog. So this is
Dan Camp Zelda 2 was 87. Chrysalis was April 1990, right?
Right, but Zelda 2 was also very different than all of them.
Wasn't that a jump one? Wasn't that with the?
So it was side scrolling with map view. So you had an overview map, and then you'd go into kind of Final Fantasy style, where you'd go into like an encounter, and then the encounter would turn into a 2D. Side-scrolling kind of
jump, and if you had full life, you shoot a little sword thing out, right?
So I mean, it was very different. This is like the first top-down kind of action RPG style that was even before Zelda. But then when we got Link to the Past, we got this style with better graphics. I mean, these graphics right here are technically better than the original Zelda, but yes, the original Zelda was also top-down. So again, I'm not saying this was before Zelda.
Zelda 2.
It's just again Zelda
2. Some fans. So did you play it on the original system with the original cartridge, or was there some?
So there was some back and forth. There was some back and forth. So what I did is, because I was gonna be sitting playing at work, I was playing on my NES, and my NES has got an EverDrive, so I took my save file from my.
Oh, there you go.
Dropped it on here and played it on my computer. So I thought that was neat.
There you go. Some retro upgrade shenanigans to fit a more modern lifestyle. I appreciate it.
Right.
And your second game.
My second game was finally a game that I I thought it's interesting that it took me this long to play it, even though I love it.
Adam, you're a band, right? You're out of here.
Oh,
boo! Boo that man.
Yeah, so the second game I played was a game that I really needed to just like sit down and finish, because it was a game that kept my save file was deleted twice by my kids.
I love it.
It was Mario Odyssey. I had to.
I don't understand how you have kids that still delete save files.
Well, they don't anymore.
All right.
But what ended up happening was they didn't have their own accounts yet.
You were like, I'll delete your life.
And they saved over it, or they ran with my file like way too far ahead, and I was like, well, I haven't played any of that. So,
I missed everything. Sure, yeah.
So, this game's a monster. It's a monster of a game. I got all 999 freaking moons.
So, for the record, the resolution is to get to the credits.
Get to the credits. I didn't have to
beyond. Above and beyond is totally fine as well, right?
Yeah.
Did you 100% it?
Yeah, so I 100%ed this one, and I got the gold sales is what you get, and then at the same time you at the very end you get a weird item. You get the invisible hat, which is a hat that you put on and you're invisible, so all you see is a shadow running around.
Because I was like, it looks like you throw your hat. That would make it harder if you couldn't.
Right. So you throw the hat and the hat becomes visible, but when it comes back to you,
I got it. Oh, now you can take over Bullet Bill with your hat. That's
so Odyssey has that mechanic where you could take over villains, you could take over like
taxi cabs,
inanimate objects. Yes, like random things, just like enemies, etc. You just like put your hat on it, and then Mario zooms into it, and then you kind of control it and take over.
Oh, I assume there's a lot of puzzles involved in getting those 99 orbs with the hat on and things like that. I dig it. Yeah. Special Agents is overrated. Somehow, Joe's just like, I don't know. He falls into this kind of thing where, he plays at work. So we all play at work in one way or another. So he just happens to have a portable gaming device nearby.
Yeah. So I mean, I work from home. I had my machine over here playing, and then I do my work, and occasionally, and that game is bite sized enough that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run through and do this like quick little like dungeon part, and then come back to it, and I was able to kind of chip away at it.
Yeah, so like I've tried that with like Civilization on, and I just can't do it. Like 3 hours later, I'm like, oh shit, I've made a terrible mistake. Right, cough. Nobody ever slacks off at work. Cough. It's the way we get back at Capital.
I don't know what that is. Claremontian? That is.
Like Chris Claremont? Is this an X-Men joke? Is this I don't know.
No one ever slacks off at work. You're absolutely right. We're 100% all the time.
Between meetings, I like it. I keep clicking it.
There we go.
Got to set a timer. I've been playing Cyberpunk in the mornings in between meetings. That's awesome. I'm somewhat, yeah. All right, yeah, that's what I thought.
So here we are.
Gosh, wait, go Ashton or go. I had to dig deep for that, for the record. This is
that's right. There you go. So it wasn't Chris Claremont. He loved my control, so he did.
Thank you very much.
Really did. Oh, look at that nerd.
Folks think I don't know nerd stuff, but I know some nerd stuff. I feel
he also
good
wrote
about
a
that.
lot of he wrote a lot of X-Files, which is very,
Did it age well? I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and watch it. Where is that streaming?
X-Files? It's on one of them. It's on the Netflix or the.
It's got to be somewhere, right?
It's on somewhere. Yeah. It's on there. Definitely. That would be one of those shows that people would be angry if it wasn't available.
Yeah, or they already own it all on DVD, right?
Can you do 7 games in a week or just 1 week? No. I mean, the challenge was 52 games in the year, right? Yeah. So if you fall behind because life becomes. I mean, you're not faulted. Just know that by the end of the year, you want to try to get that 52.
Get 52. So if I want to build a lead, just go 7 games and crush it. Sure, why not? You'd have to be dedicated to find 7 games you compete in a week, though, Adam. A lot of games take 6 to 8 hours. If you work from home, maybe you could do it, but you're really ignoring a lot of other games.
You're chipping away at different time, right? So you got to segment the time. Yeah. And
so what do you got working like in the back burner? One of those long games that and you'll just beat games while you're playing. What's the big long game that you're running right now?
So I'm trying to finish Ghost of Tsushima. That's one of those like games, and I've been playing that since the end of last year. It's beautiful. The problem with that is and Phoenix is one that I just recently started. I'm quite a few hours in. I'm like 12, 14 hours into that game. But those are the 2 big ones.
There you go. Solid ones.
I gotta pick a retro one as well. I like to throw a retro one in there to kind of go back and forth on.
It breaks up the thing, right? It breaks it all up for you.
I mean,
I got Control. Control is the one I want to beat right now. Control. Okay. That's my long term. And Monster Sanctuary, which I thought was going to be a bite-sized game, but has wound up to be a lot deeper and more difficult than I thought. It's really driving me crazy.
Interesting.
So, it's cool. It's got like a nice rock, paper, scissors, monsters versus monsters thing. You train monsters to fight other monsters, but it gets very hard very fast.
So I haven't played the Ghost multiplayer just because I haven't finished the actual main story, but from what I hear, the way that the Ghost multiplayer is it's pretty freaking neat. It's
jumping on double day.
It's got like a co-op element, and then like you actually are a ghost, if I'm not mistaken, or you're fighting. It's just got a little more fantasy, a little more Japanese fantasy in the story from that, from what I've seen from the multiplayer, and it looks really cool. So it will be maybe something that I'll dabble in afterwards. But right now, I'm so engrossed in the story, and it's so beautiful. Like this is one of those games where like you stand in the middle of like the forest and it's like fall in Japan.
You
And you
just
get like all the
contemplate the
leaves.
infinite.
Yeah, you're well. There are moments in the game where you have to sit down and write a haiku.
Of course, of course,
Of
of
course.
course. And yes, of
It
course,
does have
it
ray
does have
tracing.
very important ray
There he
tracing
does.
for
It does.
gamers now. The keywords to know that your game's good.
If it doesn't have ray tracing, it's trash.
Yeah. So what else? There's not any games really on the horizon, right? Nothing that I'm like watching for, if I'm honest.
Well, let's talk about some of the news. Let's get to the news. So one big piece of news was that LucasArts has kind of restarted its name. It's like it's recaptured its name again.
No, it has not. They're just stamping that brand on. It's such a cynical move. They're just saying, "Here's a game, Lucas. There we go." I mean, the studio's long dead, right? This is
Right. The studio's long dead, but they're now going to like make it as one umbrella, like kind of like publishing brand, I guess is what they want to call it, as opposed to just being a Star Wars or like the news for today, which was
LucasArts brought to you by Grogu.
pretty much.
That's right. Full Throttle sequel. That's actually on my list of games. I have never played Full Throttle, and the Xbox Pass has a new one, so that's on my list to beat this year.
Oh, Full Throttle is one of my all-time
Never
favorite
played it.
scum games. It is absolutely a great game.
New Indiana Jones game on the way from Bethesda and Wolfenstein team.
So Machine Gun Games that made Wolfenstein, all three of the Wolfenstein games, we will be getting a Indiana Jones. Now it won't be a first-person shooter, I don't think, but I mean, I think their pedigree in that like weird occult. Because I mean, Wolfenstein has a lot of occult, a lot of that
Wolfenstein does have a like weird occult thing. It works well for Indiana Jones. I worry about a first-person view.
They know about killing Nazis.
They know about killing Nazis.
Thank you.
And we need more games about killing Nazis.
I think in this
apparently
day and
folks
age,
haven't learned. Yeah, you're right there. Nailed it right there. Go astronaut, go. So this is just
their little teaser, kind of telling you what's happening here. Bethesda.
Sure, Bethesda. All right, so I can get behind this. Yeah, I can get behind this. I mean, how are you going to top the Indiana Jones Lego games? I'm just curious. How would you top that? That's tough. So this is what 2025 release, 23 release.
I guarantee you they've been working on it already.
I hope so.
This is one of those games where they're just like, we're ready. We're gonna drop this.
This they had me in the first half here. Double Day. Nothing says America. Nothing more than killing Nazis or being Nazis. Makes me sad, but yeah.
That says America like or being Nazis.
Being Nazis.
The American way, folks.
If anything comes of this, as in the Lucas games, I really want to Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Everyone definitely a favorite of the favorite of the video games that are out there.
I want something that isn't an MMO. That's Knights of the Old Republic. Maybe get.
I want a Mandalorian game where I get to play a Jedi.
I don't even believe you. You know. You only have 3 to pick from.
How about a neat smuggler game? That might be fun, right? In the Star Wars universe.
Oh, we were supposed to get that at one point. Do you remember?
Just as long as I don't have to play the Imperials. Hey, everybody who makes Star Wars games, don't make me play Imperials. It sucks the fun out of the Star Wars game for me.
So. You know, you're not the first person I've heard to say that. There's a few people that I've heard say that. Some people are like they just want to play the Empire, right? Those are the ones that I put on the
Don't give those people the option. This is how you have Nazis. Don't give them the option. That's why we can't have nice things.
So speaking of Disney and Indiana Jones and Bethesda and just all around, you know.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Okay.
There is one.
I said there was no news, and before the show, I said to Joe, I don't think there was any news, and then he just surprises me as we go here with all this news that I read about before.
Boom!
I read this and totally remember it now. Yep.
We will be getting, and this isn't some random wacky like headline of someone is speculating. This is interview with Kevin Feige, and he says it right here. It will be rated R, and it's working on the script right now, and Ryan's overseeing the script right now.
Awesome, that's great.
So, there we go.
Awesome. I mean, I'm excited for a Deadpool 3. I'm sure it's exactly what the world's going to need in 2022. A cynical irreverent fourth wall breaking comic book hero. Maybe that's exactly what we need in 2022. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. Ryan Reynolds pulls no punches, so
Hopefully, we get to see it in theaters. That would be nice if we all get to go to the theaters.
that would be nice to see it in theaters again.
I don't even like going to theaters, and I'm looking forward to it.
Anything to stop films. I've been laughing my butt off of those. Those are great.
I don't even know. I don't. Yeah. All right.
No, those are great. He's got these great. He's like he likes to blow the budget on the ad because they've already got him, so he's already star power. So then he like does like a random silly. It's silly. They're silly.
Sure.
Yeah, Mint Mobile. That's what they're. He's an investor
right.
in it. So let's again controversy, etc. Did you read about this?
Is this PogChamp?
Yeah.
Because they were rotating them now, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because of replacing PogChamp, right? If you don't know what the story was for that, was so this is the original, and Gutanks, which is like part of the fighting game community, decided to just be, a weirdo.
Okay, someone in the fighting community, really? No.
Yeah, it's Gutanks. Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's the sarcasm.
Yes.
At this point, yeah. Yeah. So,
hashtag Mega Martyr. Is that what we're saying now? That's great.
Hashtag. That's great. Oh yeah. That's great. Yeah, it's exactly. So that's the kind of crap that.
Hey, why didn't she just listen? Why didn't she just pay attention? Maybe she shouldn't have been committing crime. She wouldn't get shot, right? That's a. Ooh, I'm gonna slow down. So that guy, all right.
Well, right. I think what we should do is just like every other individual or person of color that has been killed by the police or killed by doing something that should have resisted or whatever. We should drudge up all of her past.
I don't want to judge her past. She's a former soldier. Sure I feel bad that she got brainwashed into going.
She's a horrible person now, right? Like
yeah.
We should just make sure that she's
canonized
as a horrible person.
A thug. Oh, controversial. Yeah. Did you hear about that thing in Washington? Thanks, Double Day. Yes, we are familiar with this.
What happened in Washington?
Just for the record, the weirdest thing about it was we still had to work, right? Like I was still in the office, like doing work and showing up at meetings and taking conference calls and stuff, right? While like on my phone, like, holy shit, what the?
It was again Wednesday, right?
It was a Wednesday. I still had to do work.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It was like, are you watching? I'm like, what is going on?
Really wild.
It was nuts. It was nuts. I will say that was the first time out of this entire 4 years of like news, like blitz, where my wife had it on. Like it was a slower day for work, and so she decided to put the news on, and she just like submerged herself into it and just like. Was like, what's going on? Oh,
she just
and by the end of the day, I was just like, I can't take it anymore. We have to turn this off. And she was like, you're right. Let's turn it off. And it wasn't anything on her, but I get it. It was like that moment where you're just like, it was so shocking that you're just like, you can't look away. You can't look away.
Yeah, a lot of doom scrolling, a lot of news overload, deep pits of depression for a little bit. Folks, I do a lot of risk work, a lot of risk mitigation work. Make sure you have a bag, extra food, water, and not because it's going to get bad, just because there might be disruptions, right? There could be things that occur that could disrupt your luxurious life you live here in America. So just be ready for it in your own way. And look out for your neighbors. Form those small communities. Actually talk to folks and form those communities if you can.
Yeah.
Play some board games, some video games. So about this proposal. Yeah, not just toilet paper, but water, food, right? First aid kit, maybe a radio if you kids know what they're. You can hand crank them now, right? So get a nice radio.
Oh, so that's it. Sold out everywhere again. Thanks, Pedro. Jesus.
And so I'm all like, oh, good thing I bought stock in the toilet paper.
Powered up. Nintendo Switch. Make sure it's batteries. Get some batteries.
You buy a lot of batteries, candles.
So speaking of craziness and zaniness, I shared this on Twitter, and it made the news rounds right after I shared it. I don't know if you'd seen this. This is wacky.
All right. Oh, is this the crazy shot?
So there's some measuring going on, some obviously game-breaking stuff. Here we go. Fires a shot, and I know the next part is a glitch where if you hit a character with a shield in a right way, you can fling you across the map, like across the world. And so the stuttering is actually the game having to load the world.
Okay. So they glitched
There's the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the arrow at the top right there.
So, I mean,
People
it's
just like sandbox games, man. Look at this. And
it's like calling in a Link airstrike. It's ridiculous.
It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, Kendall, you're not wrong. It's pretty sick. Yeah.
Just this guy right here is known for like glitching, so he talks about the glitches that he you learn how to do in the game, like things that are broken in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, putting two metal things on top of one another, and then you grab the lower metal thing and use the magnesis tool in the game, which then allows you to fly with it.
That sounds about right to me. It's how Magneto does it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's all sorts of things. But it's just, this game's like 3+ years old, and people are finding new glitches and new ways to do things in the game. And it's kind of nuts.
Oh my gosh. What are we playing? Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
That's a really impressive shot. I like one of those shots where I feel like he pulls it off and you're like, yes.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's just impressive to me, like seeing him like shoot it, like just seeing him shoot it, and then just shoot it. Like you got to know that it's out there in a specific spot.
And how many times you have to run it to make sure it was going to happen?
Right.
Maybe he didn't even think. Maybe he's just recording this for fun to show the glitch and see how far it can go. How far will the arrow go? Will it just go on forever?
It'll keep going. Yes, as long as you keep it within.
As long as you follow it in the camera like this.
Yeah, right. So you're keeping it within view so that the game kind of keeps it in loading, like it keeps it in memory.
I see.
But
look at this. Breaker.
Woo!
We have a confirmed strike.
Yeah.
That's good. What a shot.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I thought that was a really fun like thing, and the internet was like,
spectacular. Spectacular shot. Well done. Glad we could be here for this.
Yeah. Fun things in the gaming world. Here's another thing. Nintendo had a few things announced today. They didn't have really a Nintendo Direct like they usually do. And I think those might be gone. I don't know. It's just a weird time. But one thing that they announced was we are getting just a new bundle. A new color.
Oh, okay.
So we're getting a red and blue Mario, a red and blue Mario kind of Switch kit.
Can we just get a solid color Switch? Wouldn't that be great?
Well, I'm all for this one. This red one. Red is my favorite color. I'm already thinking about maybe trading mine in. I don't know.
You can trade it in. Oh, this is like red and blue Superman. So you've got it checks all the boxes for you, right? Really
checks all the boxes. Yellow, red, blue. It's everything. So
that's right. Yeah. No, I will not buy that. That's what Joe says initially, and then
I might be lying. Yeah.
He comes to the conclusion very quick.
There's a new glitch to start with Bow of Light that involves beating the game without dying or something. It doesn't surprise me. People find all sorts of things like this in the game after, and Nintendo's not going to patch it anymore, right? Like there's no major patch that's going to come out to fix that kind of stuff. Is this different from different sets? No, I mean, this isn't a pro or anything. It is a version 2 of
+2 to sexiness, -1 to dexterity, double day. That's the stats on this one.
A better console? There's no better console than the Switch, Chris.
Come on, Chris.
There's no better console.
Well, isn't he like the Omega fan? Isn't he?
Yes.
Get out of here, Chris. Band, get out.
What he wants is the Amiga.
He comes into our house and talks that nonsense. Come on.
I appreciate his tenacity, though. I appreciate his tenacity for sure. So and the second thing that they announced, of course, with that big one was this magnificent thing.
All right.
Which is it's like a new offshoot game, or like almost like a DLC to the 3D Super Mario World.
Okay.
On Wii U that is being ported to the Switch. So you're getting the original game, but then here's a whole new side story that's
looks added. Pretty nice. And you get to play a pig? No, wait, that's the Mario.
That's Mario as in the cat suit, and right. It looks like you've got Bowser Jr. kind of following you along, which is again, they haven't really announced what he does or what he can do, but he
We'll play
definitely
or
has.
two. Would be fun.
Yeah, it looks like he's got some sort of like mechanic involved, but this is also you can see that the game world has gotten a lot bigger.
Yeah,
Like
it looks.
there's definitely some
Ooh.
yeah. I mean, the first one is fantastic, so I'm excited that that's getting a port in February, early February. But then Bowser Jr. has a mechanic where he can like come in and like
Smack things for you.
yeah, or
Paint walls. Okay.
use a paintbrush to create things.
Looks like I have a little kid mode while I beat the platformer. Right.
Right. And Mario's had that for a while since the Galaxy days, where he had. But this is like this big, dark story arc or whatever what's going. It's called Bowser's Fury, is what this is called, and this looks pretty cool.
It's really a mix here where I'm looking at a giant spike horror thing, and
now all of a sudden
he's just getting petted by cats.
This Godzilla-sized Bowser
brings doom upon the world.
It goes straight on like Dark Souls, like
Dark Souls Mario. Genius.
If you notice, his suit is darker red because he's wet. Did you notice that? Like the rain is.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. But check this out. I think that they end the trailer pretty cool. So he picks up a giant power up.
Oh my god! It's Mega Kaiju Cat. Oh, and Double D. These guys are nerds. New game plus, you can play as Bowsette. All right.
No, but I would totally play that game. So yeah, that's it's gonna be a pretty.
We now know who hangs out of the dark corners of the internet, and that is Go Astronaut.
The dark corners of the internet really come to us, right? Is that what comes out? Just like,
we were born to it, Joe. Come on,
we were born in it. You merely adopted it.
Praise of the sun. That's right.
Praise the sun.
That's awesome. That looks great.
That looks great. February 12th.
Maybe it'll be added to the list of 52, right? That's.
I think it's going to be added to the list of 52 for sure. That is going to be one to pick up, and I'm excited to play that. Here's something else that was announced today that you can't get or buy for probably the next 6 months.
A new graphics card for 320. That's really cheap.
So the lower end. So now it's so we've now got a 3060, 3070, 3080, 3090. So
but you know where I live? I live on the lower end, right? So this will be a huge increase for me.
Huge increase from but if anyone can get this, it would be interesting because right now, since the 3080s were announced back in October, you can't get them. So they're if you got connections or whatever, but most of the time you can't. You have to sit there and camp. It's a game trying to get these cards right now.
For sure. They get bought out by snipers and things like that. People pick them up quick and reseller. Yeah, going for $400 on eBay. So it's either the new one or the Atari console, right? That's tough. That's a tough one.
That's a tough buy, man. I don't know. I could play old console games on a computer that is not in the shape of a computer, and spend $400 on this device.
And they might not work. You have to make them work. It's a real
make them work.
It's a real hobby.
Will do, sir. So yeah, I'm gonna plug Doubleday here. He got a brand new. He was able to kind of score a brand new graphics card here, and some sexiness here. I will definitely share.
These folks with their PCs always sharing pictures of them. Look at this. That is sexy. That is pretty hot.
That is a sexy.
That's nice. So did you did he build it himself or is it a custom? Oh, very nice. I see now the bottom there. Yeah, there's some open spots. You're famous. I'm famous. Yeah. Hey, send us beautiful pictures of your projects, and we'll throw it up there for sure.
Yeah, I totally like that. I'm all for seeing people's projects.
There was someone last week that showed us a mod. It took a while for me to find it, but that
the Ouya
Hellraiser mod.
The Hellraiser mod. I think that was a specialized. That is specialized. That was a great. And I think we ended up we started stalking him on Instagram.
Instagram, that's right.
It's fantastic.
There may have been some stealth follows.
Yeah, some stealth follows. For sure, yeah, definitely some good laser work, some good artwork. It looked great.
So yeah, for folks that don't know, Specialization Overrated does mods on consoles. It looks like, or devices and things in that in general. Real beautiful works of art out there. You should check them out. And then Doubleday, I don't know what he does. Causes a lot of trouble, but occasionally sends us pictures of his PC. So there you go. Specialization Overrated.
Oh man, oh man. So what have you been playing? Right now, what's your next game on the docket that you know of?
Well, I've been struggling my way through Monster Sanctuary, like I said, and then Control is what I've been rocking. So I'm gonna get that back there. Oh well, we appreciate that. Yeah, especially as it's been there since the beginning. So I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah. I
it.
mean, you've always come in into chat and whatnot, so I appreciate the love for sure, for sure.
Definitely. I mean, like I don't want to harp on this, but I probably say it every show. This has been a balm through these tough times. So it's been awesome having folks join all this all the time, getting to know each other, even though it's over the internet. I'm an old bitter man.
So speaking of old bitter man,
Oh no, this isn't about the movie, is it? Oh, all right, yeah. This first wheelchair accessible dungeon. That's pretty awesome. Good for them. I know when the wheelchair accessory or character came out, there was a lot of D&D controversy as all the tryhards had to come out and attack it. Oh, good.
yeah. So one side of it is, I mean, the argument is like, why would you play, like, if you're in a fantasy world, why would you want to play someone that is in a wheelchair? Why would you want to play if you are, disabled? Why would you want to play? And I see that argument. Don't get me wrong. I get that. If I was confined, maybe I'd want to play to feel like I can do anything, right? But then there's the other side of the coin where I want to feel like I feel now. I enjoy who I am, and
representation matters.
representation matters, and I want to see how the world can kind of react with me, with my disability or my in this world. So.
I was once I don't know, like I was one of those tryhards at some point. We're all young and stupid at some point or another. And I remember a conversation with a player in a more modern campaign. They wanted their character maimed. They were like, "Oh, I could lose an arm or lose an eye. What kind of stats would that impact?" Right? And what I said was, "Oh, it's not going to impact your stats at all. It's just going to be fluff because we don't want to reinforce the fact that by being at all different from other people should impact your stats, right? We got rid of stats for male and females. We got rid of all these stats. Why would we give someone less stats for having one less arm or not being able to walk or blind, for example, which is the most typical gamer stereotype, right? So, we're moving beyond that. It's way better.
So that's a good question. Maybe they're magically magically bound.
They're cursed.
They're cursed. Maybe they
like it. Yeah. Right. Oh, this is their life. This is the world that they want to live in. It could be something that just can't be cured. Right.
Yeah. I mean, a story arc. I mean, I think it would be a pretty cool thing to write out in lore to kind of really feel out that why that backstory. Make it way more interesting than I got into a car accident or whatever. It would, you could make it like, oh, this wizard or whatever, attacked me and, I'm after him. And, the only way I could get the use of my legs back or whatever would be
the wheels. They're magic and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Also, wheelchair as an item would be kind of interesting.
Yep, and that's been out there. As long as it doesn't turn goofy and it's respectful, you can work with it. Depending on the tone of campaign, you can run a great adventure where the party is writing up some lich lord for not making their dungeon ADA. Right. Yeah, as long as you approach it smartly and you're punching up all the time, I think it's a great and hilarious way to approach it.
For sure.
To play with someone you can relate with, yeah.
Someone you can relate with, of course. I think that's kind of the big deal, right? Like it's all about being relatable. It's the same reason why when you have an avatar in a game or the choice of avatars and all you get is like the white guy or
default Sam Shepard.
Default Sam Shepard, yeah. Default Shepard.
I'm sorry, he was everywhere for a while, right? There was a dark time in gamer development where everyone looked like
everyone
Sam
just
Shepard.
had and. Again, that's fine. I know I'm not saying that there aren't people that look like that, but there are other people out there. And when a game gets a character creator or a character choice or whatnot, I think you should be able to pick
whatever you want. And especially in a game that builds itself as be whoever you want to be, do whatever you want, the rule of cool. The wheelchair or wheelchair accessible dungeons and all of that stuff should be the way to go. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that was developed by an indie person whose name I now forget, not by Critical Role. I know there's some confusion out there as to who wrote the rules for the wheelchair character or the wheelchair item. It was not the Critical Role folks. They endorsed it and propagated it, which is nice of them. But
they did. But it's the Candlekeep Mysteries, right? And it's an adventure book, and it'll be available in March.
Yep, new adventure book.
Yeah, so if you wanted to take a look at that, that's March. So if you're interested, if you run a campaign, which what's our plan, man? I feel like I should hound you on it.
I need to get prodded. Yeah, I need to get back on that. So, I mean, folks know what I'm running. I'm going to be running the Tomb of Annihilation for you. What I've been spending my time doing is setting up maps online and extra dungeons. So populating the woods that you're going to be exploring with some ruins and things, peppering it with a little bit more stuff that would be fun than just the other thing. So that's what I'm putting together. But I need to assemble. My wife calls you the boys, right? Are you doing D&D with the boys? Is what she likes to say. So I think I need to assemble the boys and get everyone on the same page. I honestly, I was waiting until now, and then this whole stupid coup occurred, and I was like, no more. Will the trees in the woods be sexy?
Oh yeah, they'll have lots of wood.
Knowing the 5 idiots that I play with, yes, they're gonna. There's gonna be a lot of wood puns.
A lot of wood puns for sure. So before I forget, and I didn't forget, but I'm gonna point this out here. This Thursday.
We've all been waiting for this, by the way. So
Yep. So this Thursday, January 14th, the game gets released on digital. January 15th, the game we've all been waiting for.
Wah, wah. Dude, how dare you? No, it's Scott Pilgrim.
The Scott Pilgrim. So Limited Run is doing a pre-order starting Friday, and it is an open pre-order, which is perfect. They are Ubisoft, which means that it'll be open for 6 weeks, starting January 15th. For 6 weeks, you could just go in and pre-order it.
And they will fill all pre-orders.
And they will manufacture the total amount ordered.
Oh my gosh. I'm with you, Kendo. Yes. I might order a physical copy of this just to reward them for actually having a pre-order process that makes sense.
Right. If this is a game that you want so bad, everyone's been calling for it, don't make it so limited that you can't get it. Oh, Double A. It is a fantastic beat 'em up in the vein of course, Final Fight, of
Streets of Rage,
of
River City
Ransom, all of those games combined with RPG tactics and stat bonuses, power ups, etc., new moves unlocked, that sort of thing, and it's got great music.
And the boss fights are a lot of fun, is what I recall from the time I played it way back when, right? So this was released and then it disappeared because of rights.
So it disappeared. So Universal had the rights. The movie, something fell through and they pulled it. It got pulled from digital stores. So if you bought it on the 360 or the PS3, it was the only way to have it. It kind of sat there on your drive or whatever, and then you could re-download it if you purchased it, but no one new could play it. So this game was released 10 years ago, and it was pulled 4 years into its 10 years. So it's been gone for 6 years from the stores. Makes no sense. Like, I can't, like, they're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the game, but it's like, in reality, this is year 5 of this.
Is this Switch only though? It's Switch only, right?
No, it's Switch and PS4.
Switch and PS4. So sorry, Go Ash and I go. I don't think it's going to have an Xbox.
No, I'm not sure. They might do an Xbox digital, but definitely not
a physical. Physical's going to be yeah, but might be digital. I don't know why they wouldn't. But
Limited Run has something to do. I think it's just they can't. There's something to do with their licensing, and they don't bring out Xbox games. So
Sapphire's asking you to get it for their birthday. I'm sure. Put it on the list, and you can order 2 copies, and you will get both copies.
Yep.
Right?
So let's talk about the versions that you get. So here's the base version, right?
Yes, the base version, the plebe version.
The plebe, $39. You get Celebration artwork. It's got brand new artwork done by Brian Lee O'Malley. And then we've got the classic version, which is $54.99, which is the price of a game. A $60 game.
Comes with a very nice map.
Comes with a nice poster overworld map. Comes with the soundtrack on CD by Anna Managuchi. Reversible cover. Stickers of all the sprites. The ticket that is in. So everything that's in there in the base edition, plus the map and the soundtrack. Then the big boy, the KO edition.
Double Day asks, which one are you getting, Joe? And come on,
you don't even have to ask. Like, come on, like you're looking at it right now.
Does it come with plastic bits that's going to clutter up his shelf? Yes,
absolutely. Yes, yes. This one's awesome. It comes with a collector roadie case. You open it up,
like a stage.
and I guess they don't. I mean, obviously it's a rendering, so we don't know how it's going to be. If it's going to be a pop up or whatever.
The bomb bombs.
Yeah, the bomb. We are sex bomb.
Sex bomb. That's it.
That's right. And what's cool about it is it comes with that clamshell again. And if you didn't notice that clamshell, it's a very Sega Genesis style clamshell.
The old big ones. Yep.
Yeah. So the game will come in that. It's got a different cover, of course. It's got the Ramona Flowers cover on it as well. It's got the stickers. It comes with these drumsticks, which is pretty neat. It comes with a guidebook, which is also kind of behind the pixels, like an art book.
All right, I can think behind
it. The only way to get this particular pin is through this batch right here. This particular enamel pin. So this is the icon of Scott that moves around on the map, on the overworld map.
Ridiculous.
But that's not the only thing that's being released, of course. Why would they not make mad money on this?
Was there a super uber cuckoo edition?
So there are also
there's pins. Pins.
And Pedro right here can already feel my like. Exactly. So here we've got $14.99 per pack, which these are PAX prices.
And they're blind. They're blind.
Well, I think so. I think you can buy blind packs, and it's 2 per pack, or you can buy the whole set for $99.
Like, just get the whole set, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the whole set.
I know you're gonna get the whole set.
It's all 16 pins in a Ramona subspace.
This is your next pack sorted. No, go Asher, no go. This is in addition to the packs. This is on top. You can feel the money.
Yeah.
It's like a weather report, right? Oh, we can feel a big breeze coming up.
Yes. So it is looking like $249 out of my wallet.
Holy cow!
For this $149 plus $99 for the full set, but it's going to a good car.
Still not enough to buy an Atari system. By the way. All right, that's my last Atari joke.
No, absolutely. Keep them coming. I mean, these will last longer than the Atari front
Pins
store.
Look really nice. It all looks pretty cool. It makes me want to go back and read the comic book, if I'm honest.
It's a great book. It's a great book. Brian Lee O'Malley's a great guy. He's got another comic out right now called Snot Girl, which if you follow him on Twitter,
I had no idea.
Got a cool. So yeah,
this would be great. Great music, great fighting game. Pick it up. It's on the Switch. You can't go wrong with this. Even 10 years old, it still looks fantastic.
So apparently, Anamanaguchi is also doing a launch day concert. At 10 a.m. Pacific on the 14th Thursday. On Twitch.
Really?
Yeah.
Some of us are working at 10 a.m. for the record.
That's the plebes.
The plebes.
So yeah, I'm excited for this. It's a game that has been requested. It's Limited Run's most requested game, like since their incarnation of like, hey, the whole purpose is taking these digital games that don't get physical releases, and we give them physical releases. Everyone has been like Scott Pilgrim, and it became a running gag on their Twitter. Like anyone who asked it, they'd be like, no, and then they'd like ban you for 24 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just got so bad, and definitely one of those scenarios where.
That's awesome. And now they're doing it, and they're doing it right. For the record, everybody, go buy this in physical form so that people are rewarded for having pre-orders that are actually pre-orders.
I think this is a good pre-order.
Now they take 6 weeks to get the orders, and then they fill the ball, right? They get exactly what they want. Chris Martin, good choice. Get both versions.
Get like PS4.
I don't want to wait for the physical copy. I'm just gonna play the digital right away. That's good.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna get the Switch version in the big pack, and I'll pick up a PS4 copy just as the base copy, the $39 one or whatever.
So wait, that big super Uber collection doesn't come with physical copies of both. You have to pick the system.
You're picking the system of which one you're gonna get.
Interesting.
For sure. So and again, it says that on here. It'll when you see it. So right here, it gives you also at the top left, also available on PS4, and then this one right here, the Switch one, also available on PS4.
There you go.
So and if you didn't notice the homage there, it's
to the Sonic picture.
Scott and
I love that it's like a reversible cover. It's so wild.
Yeah,
they make these collectibles actually collectible.
Yeah. Yeah, I think limited run has always been pretty cool about that. A lot of their specific printed limited run games that don't get released anywhere else, they tend to have reversible covers. They give you like fun things, etc.
It's awesome.
And it's weird. It's weird to see games like this kind of still go up in value like that because they're limited run. But that's up to the publisher really of the game. They just kind of released a physical copy.
It's interesting, right? Because this one's not a limited run. It's only limited by how many people buy it, right?
Right,
So
right. But then that's it. Like from what's going to happen is the game that
they'll
gets
they'll produce enough
they'll
and end
produce
it.
just enough, and then they might have a few that might. Limited Run does have a deal with Best Buy, so certain games will end up on Best Buy shelves. But even the version that goes to Best Buy might have the Limited Run logo, but might have a different cover, or might not have the reversible cover.
I gotcha. Still better than a GoFundMe project. That's depends on the project, but yeah, I mean this
Yeah,
guaranteed
yeah.
rewards is much better. It's why we don't want to support Kickstarter video games. Right? Sorry,
we don't.
my apologies to Star Citizen. I don't know.
Oh, we didn't talk about that story. So want to lay it in a little bit before I pull up a story on it because I know that we talked about it. What
No, I
happened?
know we
Here?
talked about it. I
We
mean,
didn't talk about it.
I don't understand how people are still giving Star Citizen money. I don't. Yes, it's still a thing. It is still a thing. They still say they have a beta. They still say they have stuff like this. It's wild. I don't get it. Star Citizen, for folks that don't know, it was kickstarted. It's like 2 million. How you say? They made like $2 million on the Kickstarter, and they still haven't released. They missed their beta window, and they basically said, "Oh, we're gonna miss it." And then they used Cyberpunk as an excuse, right? We're gonna do it first. Yes, it's our first bot. Okay, so wait, let me rephrase everybody who has attacked me for this Kickstarter. I kickstart so many games. I still love supporting Kickstarter. I don't know why you support Kickstarter video games. That's a bad investment. Go, astronaut, go. I kickstart Dice Throne stuff. That's awesome. Kickstart whatever you want. I kickstart Dwarven Forge Terrain. So I definitely kickstart stuff. It's video games. There's like a 30% return rate, and that 70% of those games don't deliver, or they deliver less than what they promised. So keep that in mind. That's all. Just keep that in mind that a lot of those video games
I tend
they're
to
harder to make than people think.
Yeah, I tend to if the game is short and indie looking and quirky, then I'll Kickstarter it just because I know that their ambition isn't high, right? I've Kickstarted games from people that have a pedigree, and then come back and say they've left their big company and then they're gonna make a game by themselves.
Yeah,
and I've done that.
99. Sure, there's example. Everyone's got an example that's going to beat this, but there's a lot of examples of games that didn't make it, right?
And Mighty Number 9 is one of them where someone that like the creator of Mega Man says, "Hey, I'm going to make a new Mega Man game that's not Mega Man because Capcom refuses to make a new one," and then his game is terrible.
Yeah. Star Citizen is one of those games that was kickstarted again, and they just do now funding, right? They're forever in a Kickstarter thing and fundraising and without delivering. So that's a burn. Yeah. I mean, go to Itch.io, buy games off of indies that aren't splitting their money with some folks in Brooklyn who develop a system to kickstart things, right? So keep that in mind, right? And I say all this as a person who participates in the Kickstarter ecosystem, right? So
right. I've got a few Kickstarters. So right now, what are some open Kickstarters that you've got?
I've got 3. I've got the latest Bones miniatures, right? They make plastic miniatures that I use for my D&D games. I've got Dwarven Forge, which is that sweet, beautiful Dwarven Forge terrain that I love to put on my table for D&D. And then I've got a map book that some folks put out. I like those map books because my kid likes looking through them, and those map books are always awesome.
So let's see here. I've got 3 open, and they're all ready to. Two out of the 3 are ready to ship. So one, which of course was one that very popular. You
picked up the expansion. That's awesome.
So the expansion to Dragoon, the Might and Magma expansion. Which again, if you've never played Dragoon as a board game, go pick one up.
Super fun.
Super fun board game. This is the 3rd expansion.
Nice.
So this is now the Volcano of Magma. The second one was the Barbarian and the Thief. And then the first one was the base game, right? And then I've got what else? I've got
showing that game.
he did. The next one is
forever to go to that well.
The next one is something that's actually in the mail. It's shipping at the moment. These guys are Retro Fighters. This is now their 3rd controller that they've released, and these are wireless controllers for the N64.
I love it. I love going back in time and kickstarting items for things that aren't out there anymore. It's fantastic.
Well,
But
right.
it's
So
lovely.
so these are wireless controllers
Yeah.
for the N64, something that doesn't exist or not good ones at least. And they use their pedigree, right? Like what they've learned along the way. This is their third controller. They made a
Yeah.
original N64 controller that was corded, but it was really good. Um, so
Yeah. See, look, that everyone wants to know the price for the N64
so
controller.
this I pledged, and it was the MSRP was MSRP is $80 for two. I paid 58 for two controllers. So at least that's what it's showing here. And estimated delivery December 28, 2020. They missed the window by a month because of COVID and whatnot. But it's on the way. I've already got a
That's
tracking
awesome.
number. So
That's awesome.
I'll do a review on them and whatever.
Sibling streamer. I kickstarted a modular table to put on my Kick table to put board games on. Sibling streamer was looking forward to hosting board games. It arrives today. I regret my decision. The world will come around again, sibling streamer, right? Or you could just wait, 7 or 8 years for your kids to be old enough to play board games.
Wait, I'm confused. So it arrives today.
Yeah, apparently.
But you regret your decision. It was not what it was
Well,
supposed to.
because nobody can come over to his house to play board games, Joe.
Everyone.
He lives in Texas, and people don't care about it in Texas.
I
Right?
thought
Yeah.
doesn't he have like 50 people all the time around him? Like I feel like
He does. Yeah, sibling streamer. Let's not call him out. He's got a big family of.
He's got a big family. Like he's had way more family interaction than I know I have.
But board games is about bringing everyone to the table, and I totally.
Right.
I mean, I've got 100 miles of Dwarven Forge, right? A college tuition worth of Dwarven Forge in my house, and I can't have people over to play with it, right? So that's what it's all about.
So this is
Tamagotchi for hackers. Look at this.
So this is the Tamagotchi for hackers. It's the Flipper Zero. It's a fantastic, a fun little project. It's nuts. Go look it up. I can't even explain to you what it all does, other than it's just like it's a.
Does it run Doom?
It probably can if you really wanted it to. The whole idea is it's like a tinkerer's device, right? It's
sure.
a wireless tinker's device that.
So it's an Atari.
Yeah, it's better than the Atari. It does all sorts of crazy stuff, right? So like the point of it is without kind of you can program it to do all sorts of things. It's got like an IR blaster. It's got RFID. It's got all sorts of. So it's got a little device, like a little dolphin on it that kind of interacts with you, but you can make it record things. Like it's a hacker device, like no joke. It's definitely you could control TVs. You can open up random, but by recording people's signal that walk by.
Can it delete your data off of Parler? I'm just curious. No,
it cannot. That is already out in the open. So one of the fun things that I saw this could do is you could take your work badge and scan it, and it records it, and then you can replay it back.
Oh my gosh!
Open doors, because it's all open protocol.
Are you just gonna go out there and cause a ruckus?
Look, so this person recorded someone's garage door opener, and now you're opening up other people's garage door.
This feels a little shady.
Oh, it is. But I mean, it's doing it's a signal analyzer, which is having a signal analyzer in your pocket is a big deal.
Yeah, no, that's all right. So the revolution starts with Joe. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially like it's like a multi-hack tool for like like a video game, right?
Can it mute someone's cell phone in a theater?
It can mute TVs though.
Ah, that's kind of funny. We used to do that to our neighbor.
So it'll mute, and because it's open source, anyone can write things. It's going to have a lot of the most popular a lot of the most popular like wireless protocols on it. So it'll allow you to like do all sorts of stuff. Hardware tokens, just all sorts of...
I can't wait to see the hijinks.
So like you're at a bar, you're like, I mean, this has been around before, but it's got a whole menu interface for it.
Like the little lasers.
Yeah.
Boo! That's hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like a little
it's got a device. That's how I get it.
Yeah, just a geek little thing. Program it to do random things, and whatever.
Cause a ruckus, play pranks.
That's right. That's
steal files. I mean,
yeah. Infiltrate the Capitol.
Stop that. They're looking for people, dude. To my FBI agent, it's cool, man. It's cool. I'm making jokes. We joke here.
I think I just FBI guy. It's like, what did you just say? Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a joke. All right, we're at an hour mark here, and I'm out of ideas to talk about. But I
No,
love
that's
all of
fine.
you. Oh,
Solid
did you
show.
guys pre-order Metal Slug from? So I got Metal Slug 3 from them for PS4, but I didn't. I don't know if there was another one. If it was Metal Slug, I don't know which one. Metal Slug 3
I'm
for
one of the
PS4.
heretics who don't believe in physical media, Chris. So no.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah,
This guy.
This guy.
This
He's
guy
got two
doesn't.
thumbs and owns nothing physical. This guy.
When it's physical, he goes, man, just throws it out the window.
I don't even like my body. Why would I want the media crowd?
just beam me into a computer and let me troll forever.
Where I want to be.
So that's funny you mentioned that. I almost bought some more. I'm on keto right now. And so like the biggest problem for me has been like, ooh, I want to taste some more of those delicious 3D Dorito chips.
They're good.
They're good. Mr. used to work for the company
In a past life.
In a past life. The 3D Doritos are fantastic. They're not identical to the original ones. They're more Bugle-esque. Like they taste like Bugles.
Dorito folks fighting in the streets about the difference between 3D Doritos. Now with more nacho cheese. That's what
You
it's
know,
all about.
I don't know if they've got a nacho cheese flavor. They've got a chili cheese nacho flavor and a spicy ranch, which is my favorite so far.
Well, the rule of Dorito flavors now is that you have to have at least 2 or 3 descriptors, right? It can't just be nacho cheese anymore. It's got to be spicy nacho cheese or super ranch nacho cheese. It can't just be. No one wants just nacho. You got to have more adjectives in front of it. That's what it's all about.
It's
all marketing, bro.
sadness.
It's just. Joe, I'm gonna eat a cookie. Eat it. Eat the cookie double day and send them pictures.
You know, they were. I think it has to do with the how fragile they were, right? Because I think the packaging for the original 3D Doritos was the tube. Didn't they come like in a tube?
I mean, I worked for them in the 2000s, and that's the difference. They got rid of me, and now they don't make good 3D Doritos. That's
right. Well, you left,
but I cursed them before I left.
It's like coffee notes. Yeah. I agree.
That's fair.
Quick plug, and again, I'm not getting paid by anybody here. Oh God, love it.
Capital
Doritos,
Rush
Ranch.
We're just giving away the best ideas here.
Monster Energy cheese. So, one of the gifts to my wife for Christmas was a subscription to TradeCoffee.com.
Very nice.
And so we've got it. We've been getting this. We've already gotten our second delivery. It's 2 bags per delivery, so enough to fill up a month. Mm-hmm. So every 2 weeks we get a delivery, and it's a good system. I kind of dig it so far. So far, both bags that I've gotten have been delicious. Delicious coffee. Yeah, so I got 1 bag from a roaster in Cali, and then 1 in Austin, which was really good.
I mean, I know Alexander's on here and he loves coffee, and you and Courtney are coffee folks. Again, feeds the machine. I mean, I grew up on crappy New York City coffee. It's black and it's hot.
The best coffee you mean?
No.
It's like, glad I finally got him to admit something is not the best in New York. It's the coffee.
No.
Taste as white as it sounds. I love it. Yeah, you know, I will say I a little pinkies up bouginess about the coffee, but I was like, you know, I consume so much of it. Why not?
Plus, you're home and get good coffee, right? In case anyone doesn't know, right? Specialty coffee subscriptions are great, and Alexander also recommends the Atari, so we know we can trust his recommendations. Thanks for jumping on, Alexander. We're gonna tease you about it.
I like creamer with a little coffee. Interesting.
There you go. Some folks do it that way. Mine is black and hot, black like my heart. That's the way to drink it.
I've been so along with that we got like the kettle and the Chemex and all of that. So I've been making like Chemex style pour over. It's for treats. Like I still do the machine. I still do Nespresso. I've got.
So Joe's like, oh, I'm stuck home all day. Well, you know what I need? Another hobby. Coffee. I'm gonna make a coffee hobby. Let's go with that.
That's exactly it. Got to fill the time. You just got to know that by the end of this, my bars are going to be very full. I'm just filling bars,
No,
sir.
no, you're adding to the list.
Well, they were always on my list.
You're not filling them.
They were always on my list. I'm just becoming proficiency.
It's like you've got 1 point in everything, all the way down, right?
You know,
Maybe 5. No, it's fine. It's awesome. I love it. Reliably present in the mold. On that note, clearly we're butting up against Adult Swim, and we need to shut this down.
Again, this week is brought to you by Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea, enjoy, folks.
Again, and we're still in a pandemic, folks. So wash your hands. Wash your hands and
wash your hands. Wear your mask. Be considerate. Be kind.
Be considerate.
Check in on your neighbors and friends. Right, this is the darkest time of year for a lot of folks. Just make sure everyone's doing well. Right, reach out, say hi, nice things to everybody.
Capitalism is still killing us.
Stop buying things from Amazon.
And Odd Job is still cheating.
It's cheating. Rolls. In case you're out there, that is cheating.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks,
Episode 109 in the can. Take care.
Be kind.